For years, I tried to do morning baskets, even before they were a thing in the way that we know them now. And it never worked, until this year. So today, we're going to talk about how I finally made morning baskets work for our family. Now, that's a little funny, as I was thinking about this, the idea, like, this is the story kept coming, the story of how I made morning baskets work, kept coming through my mind. But all I could think about was, one, this is the story of 7 strangers living together, or this is a story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down. And if you know either one of those references, congratulations, you're as old as me. So, just made me laugh, because that's all I could think of that was going through my brain. Anyway, today we're going to talk about how I made morning baskets work for me. Now, sometimes we get caught up in the way things should be done, right? And I'm guessing you can probably relate if you have been homeschooling for any length of time. And it doesn't always work. And so you're like, oh, well, that's horrible. I'm not going to do that. Throw it out. And that's fine. Not everything is a great fit for us. But sometimes it's a really good idea to take that and figure out a way to make it work for you. And that's what I kept trying to do with morning baskets. Like I said, I've been doing these long before they became a thing, the Pam Barnhill way of morning baskets. Back in the early days, it was more like circle time baskets or that kind of thing. But when I would hear people talk about them, it was always things like, well, one, the people I knew then who did it, predating social media, were very Charlotte Mason type of people who were very quiet, or what I thought of, because I had them stereotyped, like their children would just neatly gather around and they would do these baskets and they would sing their hymns and they would recite poetry and all of this kind of thing. And it sounded really cool. At the time, I thought that was like the way to homeschool, was that style. But then there's me, who is not like that, and my children, who are certainly not like that. So over the years, I kept trying morning baskets, but I was always doing it the way, following other people's lists and their ideas. And it wasn't working. We didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy it. My kids were bored. This year, I was determined, though, because I've talked about this before several times. But my boys this year are were 5th and 7th grade. And I realized that we were out of elementary years. Like, this was our last real year. And there were so many things that I never did and I wanted to. And one of those things was just a lot more like random learning. Like, here's a short topic, not a big deluxe unit study or anything like that. Here's just a short topic. Let's spend a week learning and then move on. I wanted to do that when I first started a lot. But then I always felt like they needed to be these bigger things. So as we approached this year, I decided I was going to kind of merge the morning basket desire and the short learning topic idea, put them together, and that would be our morning basket. And what do you know? When I started doing things our way, success. We enjoyed it. And I know that's not anything, because Tricia, you tell us all the time we should do things our way. You're right, I do. For whatever reason, morning baskets were one thing that I could not embrace doing my own way. And before I get started, I'd love to know if you've tried morning baskets. Do you do them? Did you not like them? What do you include in them? And if you, after watching this, are interested in what we're going to do for morning baskets this next school year, let me know, and I'll be sure to share those things. Time of year. But, like I said, I wanted to do some short learning topics. And so when we do that, we're just, like I said, short little mini units. Some of the ones we did this year included history of jazz music, inspired by the movie Soul. medieval weaponry. Don't ask. That was what they chose. We did a long immigration one, which we started the school year with. I think I have a video of that one, of what we did. We did one on the election, the Olympics, or what else? There were a couple other ones. They all varied in length, which was important. Like sometimes they enjoyed digging in more, like when we did the Ellis Island one. Other times they just wanted something short. With the jazz one, that one seemed to drag on for a long time, and they were definitely done with it by the time we were done. So we varied the length. Some of them were a week or two. Other ones went on for several weeks. I think the Ellis Island was our longest one, and it took us a little over a month to finish that one, but it was also our biggest one. I had lots of ideas because it was our first one of the year, and I had all summer to work on it. So we did that, and I'm gonna share what else we did, and then I'll go back and talk more about those units. Always CNN 10, which was one of those things that I really pushed against because I felt like YouTube should not be part of a morning basket. Morning basket's a nice, quiet thing. But they loved it. So we just incorporated it as part of morning time. And I did a video about CNN 10 a month or two ago. My boys absolutely adored it. So in the basket, I also kept magazines like Smithsonian, Dig, and I would say go find something in there and read something and then share it with us. We have Fred Malkin cards. We've got a few different of these. Mad Libs. Mad Libs were a huge part of it this year. My boys really got into Mad Libs this year. We these are not all finished, a 90s Mad Lib, Dog Ate My Mad Libs, Ad Lib Mad Libs, presidential ones. That's part of that unit. We also had some geography. This was our Africa geography that went along with our history. Sometimes we would do it during morning basket, sometimes during history. So those were some of the things that we included in, kind of like rounded out our morning basket. And for the most part, I didn't get too specific about those extra things as far as like when we would necessarily do them. If we were doing morning time and they asked to do Mad Libs, fine, go for it. Sometimes I would tell them to, but other times I just choose something. I also randomly put in there other games like chess or something like that. Bananagrams. It really varied what went in there. But that was part of what we liked about it. There was always something different in there, and it was very relaxed. We didn't even do morning basket every day. And sometimes when we would, it would be in the afternoon, after lunch, or at the end of the school day, or whatever. It just depended. And again, that was another way that I adapted it to make it really fit for our family. Now back to the themed units. When I would create these, I included lots of different things in them. And like I said, they all varied in length. But some of the resources that we used included audiobooks, obviously books, read aloud, picture books, chapter books, all of those. Games. For the Ellis Island one, we found one that PBS had done that was really fantastic. So I also incorporated audio into it. For Ellis Island, on Library of Congress's website, I found archives of interviews with people who were elderly at the time, but about their experiences coming through Ellis Island as a young child. So one section was all about trying different foods for the first time, and it was really cool to hear the adult version talk about what it was like as a child. It's interesting to hear which people still had their accents, which did not, which ones, and how like that didn't necessarily correspond to like when they came over or the country. It was just really interesting. We kind of dug into that. Jazz obviously led to a great opportunity to listen to different music. We found on Google Arts and Culture app lets you take virtual walking tours of different museums. So we found a jazz one, and it was in Kansas City, and we kind of walked through it. It was Jazz History Museum. So it was really cool, like what all was out there. And once we embraced the variety of things and technology within it, doing it our way, it really is amazing how much we enjoyed Water Baskets. If you want to know what else we enjoyed in our homeschool year, click on the playlist on your screen and go check out what we loved this year. Thanks for watching.